Hello and welcome back to Base Academy. I hate it when my brain does that. I forgot what I was playing for a second. Valerie grabs some chopsticks and marks them with numbers, and then marks one of them with a colour. She shuffles them on the table and holds them in her hand so the marks are covered.
Let the games begin.
My heart races in anticipation as we all grab a stick. I turn mine over and see the coloured marking. Lucky. I watch as the rest of my friends turn theirs over. Carrie wears her best poker face. If I didn't already have the king stick, I wouldn't know what she had in her hand. Joe's face is one of bitter disappointment. Wonder what he'd planned as king. Maya breathes a sigh of relief. Guess she didn't want to be king. Valerie seems different about her stick. Probably would be happy as either the king or the subject. Una looks around the table.
Who's the king?
I offer my glorious crown, a chopstick.
Brosif's got it. What is your command, your majesty?
Let's think for a moment. I command... Oh, that's risky as hell. Well, I'm always one for hugs. Number 2 to give me a tight hug. Una blinks.
Oh, that would be me.
She looks at me and then blushes.
You lucky bastard.
Valerie snorts, but Carrie and Maya look confused.
Why? It's a hug between friends. It's nothing unusual.
Have they not found out we're dating yet, or is this game just not terribly good at tweaking itself based on that fact? Well, not exactly between friends, but that's not it.
Don't understand at all.
What?
No, hugs are just awesome. I love hugs. In fact, I was talking last night with one of the people at the HST in the comedy. I'm the kind of guy who would just go around offering free hugs, and one of my compatriots commented that her husband would literally punch me in the face if I tried, because he really hates hugs.
Don't worry about it.
Enough talk. Hurry up already.
Valerie smirks, and Una and I stand up and approach each other.
So I will,
Okay, and I'll go here. We awkwardly lean in the same direction and switch again and almost collide with each other. This is a lot harder with people watching.
Okay, here, just...
Una wraps her arms around my waist and places her head on my shoulder. As I embrace her, I can't ignore the soft pressure against my chest. I feel her kiss my left cheek, the one which faces away from the group. My face reddens. I can hear Sho muttering something under his breath about being jealous. Una and I untangle from each other. We've hugged before, but to do it in front of a group is still embarrassing.
Aw, that was so cute.
Let's play again.
We're all surprised by Sho's outburst.
I will be king.
Everyone bursts into laughter.
You wish.
We played a few more rounds of the King's game, and Sho never once drew the coloured stick. Watching his frustration as some of us became repeat kings was an endless source of amusement. I wonder if his luck's really bad, or if a certain blonde was rigging the game for our own amusement. When it became late, we all said our goodbyes and headed out. I stifled a yawn as I entered the quiet house. Tiptoeing into my room, I quickly got ready for bed and fell asleep with a smile on my face. Best Halloween ever. The buzz of my alarm pulls me out of my dream world and into reality, and with a sleepy roll I slap blindly at the sound. 5 more minutes. The buzzing doesn't cease no matter how hard I slap my clock, but I blink open bleary eyes as 10:17 AM blinks black at me. Crap! I shoot straight up in my bed. I am late for class! I push the off button on my clock, but it doesn't stop the buzzing. Wait, my alarm doesn't buzz. Glancing over at my desk, my phone buzzes loudly on the wood. It's Valerie, probably wondering why I wasn't in class this morning. Hope she's calling to bring me notes. Hey Valerie, sorry I missed you in class today.
Class?
She sounds amused. I don't know what happened, but my alarm didn't go off.
Probably because you didn't set it.
What?
It's reading week. We don't have classes, silly.
Oh. That explains a lot. Well, if we don't have class, then why are you calling me?
Because unlike somebody, I've been hard at work and found something interesting about Eagle's core.
Really? What is it?
It's the secret to Eagle's maximum overdrive.
Wait, seriously? What does it say?
Says, come to the hangar right now.
No, it doesn't.
Only one way to find out. See you in a few.
She doesn't want to wait for me to respond before the line goes dead. Valerie! She's lucky my curiosity's stronger than my irritation. I get dressed and ready for the day. And just as I'm about to head out the door, my phone beeps. Pull out my phone, expecting another text from Valerie, but instead I see an old alert. Call Mom today. Mom. My chest tightens as if a hand is holding my heart. Today was her birthday. Last year I was so busy at CINY I completely forgot about it, and I didn't give her a call until the next day, and even though she understood, I could tell she was disappointed. I created this alert right afterwards so I'd never forget again. Oh God, how could I have known that it would be her last birthday? A spark of anger heats my blood. If Mom and Dad really were the target of foul play, somebody's going to pay for ripping them away from me, from Nikki. My phone beeps again and I open a message from Valerie telling me to hurry up. I need to find out what's going on with Eagle. Maybe that'll give me a hint as to what happened to Mom and to Dad. I take a deep breath and hop on my bike and hurry to school. When I arrive at the hangar, I head straight for Eagle. Valerie stares intently at the terminal, biting her lip in concentration. And she glances at me as I approach and smiles.
I almost thought you weren't going to show up.
Here I am. She points to the terminal, fidgeting with excitement.
It took some time, but I finally figured it out.
You were able to reverse engineer the overdrive mode. Valerie nods. That's incredible. She grins proudly at my enthusiasm.
It took a little longer than I expected since the missing pieces were really hard to fill in. The full schematics are unlike anything I've seen before. I wasn't even able to find anything remotely similar while researching.
Her brows furrow in thought, then she shakes her head, and her excited grin returns.
Anyway, I've tested the data in the simulator, and it worked flawlessly. Your core is calibrated to be able to use the overdrive mode on demand.
That's awesome.
I haven't had a chance to try it in actuality, though. As much as I'd love to hop in your cockpit, I'm not much of a pilot.
Oh, that was the least subtle innuendo I've ever heard.
So, I leave the test piloting to you.
I nod. Of course, you're amazing, Valerie. Her smile broadens.
Oh, I almost forgot.
She returns to the terminal, and as her fingers dance over the keyboard, another screen opens up. It's packed tightly with a lot of information, and the bottom has an open section to input a password.
I couldn't figure this out, and it looks like any sort of tampering will potentially wipe the data. What's weird about it is that all those lines are not really code that needs to be deciphered. They read more like references I don't understand. Since you built Eagle, I wondered if this might mean something to you.
I glance at the screen, and it does read like a whole bunch of inside jokes messed together. Some pieces seem familiar, but tuned together that throws me off. I'm sure if I had the time to sit down and concentrate, I could work through this, but right now I'd rather focus on the overdrive mode. Do you have all the data you need for the overdrive mode?
Yeah, which is why I almost forgot about this. I'm not sure what's hiding behind here.
No rush then? She smiles.
No rush. I do think we should book off some practice time in the arena and confirm the overdrive mode works, though. I mean, theory is still theory.
I nod. And I was thinking the same thing. Let's tell the team about this, see if we can get a practice session in before the match. I shoot off an urgent group text, and as I wait for everyone to show up, I pull the arena schedule on my phone. Is there any chance it won't be fully booked because it's reading week? To my surprise, the arena is completely open tomorrow. Talk about good luck. Carrie's the first to arrive.
This better be important. Exams are next week, you know.
Trust me, you'll want to hear this. Carrie taps her foot impatiently.
Where is everybody else?
They're coming. A few minutes later, Xiao and Mai trickle in, with Yuna tagging along.
Sorry if we're late.
Look who we found trying to break into the hangar.
Yuna's cheeks flush.
I wasn't trying to break in. I was just about to text that I needed someone to let me in.
Xiao grins.
Sure, that explains why you were pulling on the doors.
I was just testing to see if maybe they were unlocked.
Wait, Yuna, how did you get on campus so fast?
I was studying in the library when I got your text.
Speaking of which, can you finally tell us what's going on so we can all get back to studying?
Valerie, drum roll please. I glance over at Valerie, who nods. Valerie found out how to activate Eagle's overdrive mode on demand.
Are you serious?
Sho's voice rings out above the team's collective exclamations of surprise. Valerie nods.
Yup. Sorry it took so long.
The fact that you managed to figure it out at all is really impressive.
Yeah, I don't think just anyone would have been able to.
Maybe.
Valerie answers modestly, but there's a slight blush of colour in her cheeks.
So, what exactly do you mean by overdrive mode can be activated on demand?
Well, initially the programming was set to a single run instance because it was in debug mode. I found a way to change the options of activation. That being said, it's calibrated and tested in simulation, but...
Valerie looks at me. We want to reserve the arena so we can live test it. Carrie nods.
That makes sense. We definitely want to get a handle of it before our next match on Thursday.
Why exactly do we have a match scheduled during reading week? Everyone stares blankly at me.
Why wouldn't we?
At CINY, everything was cancelled during reading week. Classes, clubs, everything. They wanted us to focus on studying.
That must have been torture.
I don't think it's a terrible idea. That just means there are fewer distractions from studying.
I know. Torture!
Yes, thank you, Sho. Well, they didn't have to cancel everything. It was nice that classes were cancelled, but cancelling all clubs and activities was a bit much. Sho nods.
Focus, guys!
Sorry.
Yuna seems thoughtful.
Since your match is on Thursday, that doesn't give you much time to practice. Isn't the arena already booked up this week?
Actually, it's completely open tomorrow. I was thinking we could head over around...
No! Are you crazy? We can't do that!
I blink at Sho's outburst. Valerie looks just as confused as I am, but the rest of the team wears matching looks of horror.
What is up with those faces? You guys look like you've seen a ghost.
Let me guess. The anniversary of Yuna's brother's death?
I mean, you're not too far off. The arena is haunted.
Valerie bursts out laughing and I let out a few chuckles. What are you talking about? We've used the arena plenty of times. We've been fine.
It's not always haunted. Only tomorrow.
It's not haunted, you idiot!
You can always count on Carrie to be reasonable.
It's cursed!
Never mind. What?
How is it cursed?
It's the curse of Yori and Nori.
You too, Yuna?
Broseph, Yori and Nori are no joke. Haven't you heard the legend?
No.
What legend?
Sho takes on a serious tone.
Many years ago, there was a set of twin brothers, Yori and Nori, who attended ACE. They were fiercely competitive in the arena, and their matches were thrilling to watch. Yori was the older twin by a few seconds, and no matter how often they battled, he always took first rank. Nori hated being outmatched and overshadowed by his brother and trained harder than any other pilot at school. At the end of the season, the twins' highly anticipated match was just as exciting as ever, especially when Nori took the title of first rank from his brother.
I guess Nori's training had finally paid off. Valerie raises an eyebrow.
Seriously? This is so cliché.
Sho gives her a look, but otherwise ignores her.
It was all anyone could talk about, but Yori was furious. He didn't think it was possible that his brother could surpass him. He accused his brother of cheating and continued to pester Nori until Nori couldn't take it anymore. They agreed to one final match, no holds barred, which would prove.
And I'm assuming they killed each other, right?
Obviously, the school would never allow no holds barred matches, so they set up a time after hours to meet in the arena.
Boring.
Just wait!
When they met in the ring, they readied their weapons like usual. Charging their laser guns, they waited for the signal. As soon as it sounded, they simultaneously unleashed their shot, which collided in a huge explosion.
That doesn't happen.
That's not how explosions happen.
Trust me, it happened. I don't know how it did, but it did.
Mayu and Yuna nod along with Sho.
After the smoke cleared, standing in the middle of the arena were the twins' two gears.
Okay.
That's not the weird part. The weird part is that there was no trace of the brothers. Both the cockpits were completely empty.
Mayu shudders.
There weren't even ashes or anything.
Wait, let's go back a second to this explosion. How did the gears even survive that?
That's part of the mystery. They say that the brothers' spirits are trying to finish the battle to see who is the better pilot, and any pilot who dares get between them will suffer the consequences.
Right, I'll be practicing alone then. Valerie cocks her head to the side.
You guys really believe this stuff?
It's real. Ever since then, anyone who's used their gear on the anniversary of the brothers' battle has ended up with serious injuries.
Yeah, there was this kid whose gear malfunctioned and started moving on its own.
And the girl whose gear got stuck after it depowered, so she was trapped inside. They had to remove the whole front of her cockpit to get her out.
Those are just the reported ones. A lot of times, what happens in the arena stays in the arena.
Valerie looks at me.
What do you think?
Oh, better safe than sorry. Look, I won't tempt fate. We can check out my core another day.
Aw, are you sure you wouldn't rather test it out?
Yeah.
The point is, we cannot be anywhere near our gears tomorrow. In fact, we should get out of Ace Academy altogether and go somewhere fun.
Valerie's dismissiveness shifts to intrigue.
Ooh, I like fun.
Where were you thinking? A sly grin spreads across Sho's face as he whips out a handful of tickets.
The hot springs, of course.
Ah! Another chance for, swimwear. How long have you been carrying those?
You don't want to know.
I raise an eyebrow.
Let's just say I've got these ready for next year, too.
That sounds like a whole lot of fan service.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Valerie squeals and starts playing with her
I
hair.
can't wait to go. The water's going to feel so good.
I could use a break from studying.
You should come, Yuna.
Yuna smiles.
Okay, you've convinced me.
Wow, that was easier than I thought.
What about you, Kaori?
Kaori frowns.
We don't have time for this. Don't you all have exams to study for?
We've got the whole week to study. Besides, even Mayu's going.
Mayu looks away as Kaori's gaze lands on her.
Are you going too?
Yeah, I'll study better once I've had a short break.
Come on, Kaori, live a little. If Mayu can go, then you can go. I mean, does anyone here study more than she does?
Mayu frowns.
What's that supposed to mean?
Just that you're really smart.
Mayu blushes deeply but looks pleased.
So, you coming, Kaori?
Kaori sighs.
Fine. But I'm coming back first thing the next morning. With or without you guys.
Yes, the gang's all going.
You know, it says something interesting that in this game I'm not worried about the fact that they're going to a hot spring. Whereas if it was a Sakura game, I'd be dreading it. Because those games. Anyway.
Since my day tomorrow is pretty much shot, I need to get as much studying done now as I can. I'll see you guys later.
Kaori hurries out. I should get some studying done
Me
too.
too.
Same here.
It's time for me to hit the books, too.
Everyone pauses to stare at her.
What?
You study?
Of course. How else do you think I get straight A's?
Sho's eyes widen.
You've straight A's?
Valerie laughs.
Don't sound so surprised.
If everyone else is going to study, then what am I supposed to do?
Study? Sho sighs.
I guess.
We can study together.
Sho perks up.
Suddenly studying sounds like a great idea.
Mayu smiles shyly, and Sho takes her hand and the two of them wave before walking away. Alright, well I'm out. See you guys later. Everyone says their goodbyes and heads their separate ways. I find a quiet spot in the library and spend a few hours studying. Once the worlds start to blur onto the page, I decide to take a break. Wonder if anyone else is up for one too. Wonder if Yuna's still trying out different clubs. Last couple of times I went with her, it was pretty fun. Let's see what she's up to. I dialed Yuna's number and she seems out of breath when she answers.
Hello?
Hey Yuna, checking out the new clubs today? She chuckles.
Nope, I've decided on what I want to do.
Oh really? What did you choose?
Tennis.
I grin. Is that what you're doing now?
Actually, I decided to participate in the Tennis Open League today.
Does that mean you're going to try out for the school league next year?
Maybe. I'm not sure yet. It's still a huge time commitment, but I can always drop in on club matches. You're coming, right?
She tries to keep her tone light, but a hint of worry sneaks into her voice. I know that my being there to support her would mean a lot. Plus, there's no way I'm going to turn down another opportunity to see her in that cute little tennis outfit. Of course, I'll be that loud voice in the stands cheering you on. She giggles.
I'll be disappointed if I don't hear you.
Then I'll be sure to yell extra loud. Meet you at the courts?
Okay, see you soon.
We hang up the phone and I make my way to the rec centre. The event has a strong turnout, and while the spectator space isn't as large as our other venues, more than half the seats are filled. I scan the crowd of students lining the tennis courts in search of Yuna. She's off on her own, leaning into a runner's stretch. Hi, Yuna! Her face lights up when she sees me.
You're here. Thanks for coming.
I wasn't going to miss another chance to watch you wipe the floor with your opponents. She laughs.
It won't be so easy this time. I recognize some of the students from the Ace Tennis League. There's a good chance I'll have to play against them.
I take another look at the students holding tennis rackets. Most of them keep to themselves, and they wear solemn faces and quietly stretch. A group of students are gathered together in a circle. Those must be the league members. I don't think I know who any of them are. Yuna pauses and points out the one she recognizes.
That girl with short hair is also a second year, and a pretty strong player on the team. She's actually from my hometown. We trained together in high school.
The girl is one of the only students with a smile on her face. She rolls her wrist, lets her racket hang loosely by her side.
The guy to her left is a first year. He just made it onto the team, so he's still in training.
As Yuna gives me the stats on her opponents, her demeanor changes. Her posture relaxes, her eyes glance alertly around the court. She'd fit right in with the rest of us in the pre-combat room if she were a pilot.
And that small guy beside them is actually their star player.
Really? I glance skeptically at him. He looks like a high schooler who's still waiting to go through puberty.
Yeah, he's a third year and captain of the tennis team. In fact, she
Yuna points again to the first girl.
will probably take his place as captain next year. He's also left-handed.
And that means...
I should have worked harder on my backhand.
Sounds like those few are the only real challenge here.
That's only as far as I know. There may be some hidden diamonds nobody knows about.
Well, you'll do great anyway. Even if there are, you don't have to worry about them. I've seen firsthand what you can do, and I know you'll win this thing. She blushes.
Thanks.
Spectators are being ushered to their seats as the organisers announce the first matchup. I better go so I can claim a good seat. Yuna nods. Before I go, I wrap my arms around her and pull into a hug, and then I kiss her cheek. Good luck. I'll be rooting for you. Her cheeks are flushed, but she grins.
Thanks.
As I leave, she fidgets with the edge of her racket as she looks out into the crowd. Guess she's nervous after all. The first few rounds are between students I don't know, and I half-heartedly watch the matches as they all kind of bleed together. Finally, Yuna's first match is up. I sit in my seat and wave as she walks onto the court, and she smiles in acknowledgement. Her opponent's a random student I don't recognise, and I settle back into my seat. This will probably be a quick match. As I predicted, Yuna demolishes the poor guy. Soon the second round of matches begins, and Yuna is pit against the first-year Team League player. He scowls at Yuna, but seems undisturbed. In the end, Yuna demolished him too. He stomps off stage, and I cheer along with the rest of the crowd for Yuna. When she's matched with a girl from the tennis team, the two of them nod in respect for each other. Yuna grips her racket lightly, and the look of concentration replaces the smile on her opponent's face. They're more evenly matched, I assume because they're used to each other's styles and know each other's strengths and weaknesses. And although Yuna claims to be out of practice, she still comes out victorious with a 2-point lead. There's literally no other way to be victorious in tennis. You have to have at least a 2-point lead, unless you mean 2-game lead. Eventually, the two remaining contenders are Yuna and the third-year captain of the Ace Tennis League. Even from my seat, Yuna seems to tower over him, but he's unfazed. They ready their rackets as Yuna gives the first serve. And just like when I played against her, her racket connects with the ball with a resounding crack. It speeds across the net in a blur, but her opponent seems to be waiting for the ball and easily returns to serve. They continue to volley back and forth, and I lean forward in my seat holding my breath. He strikes towards Yuna's left and a backhand misses, and the audience lets out a collective gasp. The match is the most engaging of the two as they dart across the court. They're tied from their last match, and the last point wins the match. And ultimately, Yuna misses another backhand strike, and her opponent is named the victor. That's not how tennis works! Even if you get to a tie-break, you've still got to win it by 2 points. I race back down the courts. Yuna and the captain are speaking, and as I approach I catch the tail end of their conversation.
Did you try out for the league this year?
Yuna shakes her head.
No, I was focused on my studies and was worried the league might be too much of a time commitment.
No wonder I haven't seen you play before. I'll admit I was really impressed by your skills. You should try out for the league next year. I'm positive you'll make it onto the team.
Yuna smiles politely.
Thank you for the offer. I'll definitely keep that in mind.
I hope you do.
He glances my way and then politely excuses himself. As he walks by, I sneak up behind Yuna and attack her with a hug from behind. She whirls to face me and smiles. You were awesome out there.
Thanks, but I didn't win.
No, but you and the freaking captain of the tennis league were neck and neck for the majority of the match.
I know.
I thought she would finally realize just how impressive that was and crack a smile, but she frowns instead.
If only I'd practiced my backhand. I know I could have beaten him in his smug face.
Wow! I knew Yuna was competitive, but I had no idea she was this competitive. Oh, I've never seen this side of you before. Didn't know you had it in you.
Had what?
Salty Yuna.
I'm not salty.
You're so salty you're giving me high blood pressure. Yuna blinks and then laughs.
I guess I am overreacting a bit, aren't I?
A little. She sighs and buries her face in my chest.
But I was so close.
I stroke her hair. I know.
Well, it looks like everyone is leaving.
Yeah, we should probably leave too.
I'm going to go to the lockers and shower. Thanks for coming out again.
It was fun. She smiles.
I'll see you later.
I say my goodbyes and we head our separate ways. My phone vibrates in my pocket, and when I go to answer, I see that Sho is calling me. Hey, Sho.
Broseph, I'm so glad you picked up. I need your help.
You okay?
No, I'm in dire need of assistance.
What have you done this time, moron? What's going on?
Do you have any experience buying a gift? For a lady friend?
Oh god, he wants my advice on gift giving. If anybody's seen the roommates Let's Play, you should remember that palaver. We all know your lady friend is Mayu. There's no answer for just a second, and then Sho speaks.
It still feels kinda surreal.
I get it.
So, does that mean you'll help?
I can't leave my bro hanging. Sho sighs in relief.
You are the best Broseph a bro could have. Come meet me at the mall.
I'll be right there. I hang up the phone and head to my bike, and then I drive directly to the mall. After I park, I see Sho waiting for me at the main entrance. He greets me with his usual goofy grin, but his hair's disheveled and there's worry in his eyes.
Thanks for meeting me. I don't even know where to start.
Oh dear. Well, jewelry's always a good fallback with women. Stuffed animals, always cute. Chocolate, again, it's one of the standards. But for her, I'd go for a book. Mayu loves reading, right?
Yeah. How did you know?
We've talked books in the past.
She likes to tell me about what she's currently reading. It's so cute to see how excited she gets over them.
You should get her a new book. Maybe something that's just come out. That way you know she hasn't read it yet.
I think she'd like that.
Sho nods.
Good thinking, Broseph. Let's go.
He leads the way to the store. So what's this gift for, anyway?
It's our 1-month anniversary.
Wow. Sure, time flies fast. It's been a month already? Feels like it was just yesterday we fought Mai's team.
I know, me too. Time seems to pass in a click, doesn't it?
Very witty. I've never heard that saying before. Anyway, congrats on your 1 month.
Thanks. I'm actually kind of surprised by how it happened.
So how did it happen?
It came out of the blue. Mayu and I were hanging out as usual the Monday after our match with Onobugeisha, and I could tell something was on her mind. When I asked her what was wrong, she blurted out a question about feelings. It was so unlike her that I was too shocked to speak. Mayu didn't even hesitate, and she started talking about how she's liked me since we were kids, and she wanted to know if I felt the same way or if I was into someone else.
Sho laughs.
I guess she saw me walking home with Hitomi and thought we were dating. Silly, right?
Yeah. Sho looks sheepish.
I started laughing as soon as she said that, and I know I embarrassed her, but I couldn't help it. I just couldn't believe what I was hearing. As if I could ever like anyone else.
I blink. Really?
Well, yeah. Why do you sound so surprised?
Well, it was obvious how Mayu felt about you, but you never seemed to notice. Sho's cheeks flush.
I noticed. Of course I noticed.
Then why?
She's so smart and pretty and awesome. She's way out of my league.
She was head over heels for you.
It's still hard for me to believe that. That's why this gift is so important.
No wonder he seems so agitated. Mai will love whatever you get her. The fact that you're buying her a present at all will make her happy. Sho smiles worriedly.
You think?
Of course.
Still, it has to be perfect.
I nod. On that note, we better get back to searching.
Right.
I helped Sho pick out the perfect gift for his lady friend. He ended up going with my advice and buying Mai the newest fantasy bestseller. And as we exit the store, Sho has a spring in his step, but he seems both nervous and hopeful. I hope she ends up liking her present. We say our goodbyes in the parking lot. Right, that's an excellent point to end this part, so thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next.